This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're at the press conference here to announce that Joyce, the Juggernaut, has teamed up with Frank Warren, Queensbury, alongside Ringstar Sports and BT Sport. Sam Jones, Joe's manager. How are you, Sam?
Good afternoon, KUGAN. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Very formal, that introduction.
Formal day today. It's a formal day. Got to behave.
Why Frank Warren for Joyce?
No, Frank's been wanting to sign Joe for a while now. We had talks in December. When Tyson Fury was fighting Deontay Wilder, we sat down together and it kind of went kind of cold. And then it's picked up recently and they've finally got a deal over the line.
When I interviewed Frank Warren a few minutes ago, he said he was kind of a little bit unaware of how kind of serious the situation was regarding you putting forward Joe as a possible opponent for Anthony Joshua. But what he did say was, look, if that was the case, then he wouldn't have done anything to kind of stand in the way of that, and why would he?
Of course he wouldn't have. All we said was, this is all we said, and you saw I got a lot of stick for it. Joe's a clean heavyweight, 6'6", ready to fight on June the 1st. That's all we said. We never said he deserved the title shot. I never said it once. I'm just saying, Eddie Hearn said, heavyweights come forward. I put Joe forward. Joe rang me and said, I'll fight him. It's that's all. And apparently Joe's not credible, but Joe is more well known than the potential opponents that they've got lined up at the moment. Andy Ruiz and Trevor Bryan, I think, are the leading, and Michael Hunter. So Joe's.
You're not just going from a Twitter count of followers.
No, of course I'm not. I'm going. Michael Hunter's biggest career win is against Ustinov. Or is it Ustinov? I think it was Ustinov. Trevor Bryan, I think he beat Brian Jennings. Joe's beaten a former, whatever you say about it, former world heavyweight champion, Commonwealth champion in his second fight, pro debut against Ian Lewis in 10 rounds. He's got a Joe Hanks, which is Andy Ruiz's career biggest win. Joe did him in a round. I'm not saying Joe deserves a world title shot. There's people above him. There is. Dylan White's above him, Povetkin, all these people that are above him. But all we said was, we're available to fight June the 1st to save the show.
That's fair enough. To be fair, Eddie Hearn, you're right, did put out kind of an SOS call, heavyweights, whoever it is, get in touch and etc. I suppose there's quite a few opponents kind of in the list that I would rather see Joyce fight then. So on that point, I will agree with you.
And that's all I said. Like does Josh? Do you know what I feel? I don't feel sorry for Joshua because he's going to make millions of dollars to fight an Andy Ruiz. Do you understand what I mean? But I do feel sorry for him in the sense of that he's going to get criticised whoever he fights. And out of all the opponents, bar Luis Ortiz, that have said they can't fight, Joe's the best out of all of them. On a fan's point of view, and the American fans do know Joe. Joe's fought twice on Showtime and on Fox, on Fox as well, which is it's like ITV in our country. Primetime TV. So they do know who Joe is. And that fight, okay, he'd prefer it to be at Wembley Stadium, but all we said we never said, oh, we want millions. We just said, you want and need a heavyweight, we're happy to fight.
Can you do me a favour and try and stand still? You started off there with that as a backdrop, now we have a lamp.
That's what we do. No?
We're good. Prior to kind of signing the deal with Frank, were you in talks with any other promotional outfit from the UK, i.e. Matchroom or Eddie Hearn?
There was probably a brief conversation, but it didn't go any further. It was Frank's been after Joe for a while, and BT Sport appealed to Joe, so we went there.
Okay, fair enough. The board put out a circular yesterday saying that a deal had been agreed and reached, so purse bids had been called off regarding Dubois and Joyce. So yesterday, obviously, Twitter went into a frenzy by kind of expecting that to be the case. Yeah, but as I understand, that's not necessarily the case.
No, it's not the case. There's Joe's got options on the table, unlike before. Like, we have had to hustle to get Joe into these positions. Like with Joe's #1 in the WBA, he's above the rankings. He's mandatory for the European title. And like fans' perspective, of course, they'd probably prefer to see Joe fight Dubois over Caballel or Char. But to progress Joe, Caballel's a better fight for Joe, and Char's a better fight. bigger titles. Obviously, British titles are an amazing title to win, but for Joe's career, those two are bigger fights. But Dubois is 100% in the running to fight Joe in the summer, 100%.
So he's in the running. So the board kind of must have obtained information from somewhere to say that, forget the purse bids, deal's been reached. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen in the next fight. That's what you're saying.
100%. That's what it comes down to. Whether it's in the next fight or the next fight after that, it could happen. And now he's with Frank Warren. The fight's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. It's going to happen. Whether it's this year or next year, it's going to happen. Joe versus Gorman, Joe versus Dubois. But Joe, I believe, and I think the fans know this as well, Joe's above both of them right now. He's just come off, he was on about fighting Richard Lartey. Joe was going to fight Lartey in his debut, but he didn't turn up as well for that. So he was going to fight, no, in his second fight, he was going to fight Richard Lartey. So they're quite a bit behind Joe. So Joe would have to come down, in my opinion, to fight Dubois, albeit it's a great fight. Is it a fight now, or is it a huge, huge fight in a year's time? But 100% it could still happen. Potentially in Joe's, not the May 18th one, the summer fight. He's 100% in the run. He's one of the 4 or 5 names that have that could happen.
So Joe will make his BT Sport debut on, well, say debut. He's been on BT Sport before.
He has, on the Tyson Fury. Yeah, he made his.
So his UK BT Sport debut.
His Frank Warren debut. He's going to be fighting at the Lamex Stadium at Billy Joe Saunders' chief support, I understand, to Billy Joe Saunders, which is a good start. It's his first fight with Adam Booth, and then we look to a massive fight in July. What
sort of opponent can we expect for May the 18th?
Someone coming to win. Someone coming to win. But this is all about exposing Joe to BT Sport. Joe's first fight with Frank Warren, and then we are looking for a massive fight. That's why we've come here. Massive fights after that. Massive, massive fights.
You explained to me earlier it's a multi-fight deal. Would that indicate a minimum 3-fight deal?
It's a bit more than 3 fights. Yeah.
Interesting. What else is going on in the world of Sam Jones?
And I just find it very difficult to understand why heavyweights are turning down this chance to fight Anthony Joshua. I find it crazy. Like, you've got people like Cal Naki, who says, I haven't got enough time to prepare for Joshua, but yet comes to the ring. He's a game, and he's one tough man, but he comes to the ring looking like Homer Simpson. He does. He comes to the ring looking like Homer Simpson, but he's not got enough time to prepare for Joshua in 7 weeks. Luis Ortiz, who's 50 years old, hasn't got enough time to prepare for Joshua, but will he ever fight for a world title again? We just don't know. He's a southpaw that not many people want a part of. Joshua's saying, I will fight you. Here's $7 million. Come and fight me for the Unified Heavyweight Championship. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous, I really do. And Pulev's got his sexual allegations going on, so he can't fight, but it's crazy.
So I think Luis Ortiz's team come out, and there's reports that they wanted 10 million. Hold on, 10 million, and also they used the term they were being lowballed by Eddie Hearn.
Lowballed? Well, I know they didn't even make $1 million in the Wilder fight. So, what lowballed? They've been offered $7 million. How's that lowballed? Go and fight for the Unified Heavyweight Championship of the world. There's only one reason, in my opinion, why they're swerving that, but I won't go into it.
No, feel free to go into it. You've started to.
Can't go into that, KUGAN, but you've seen my social media. I've alluded to the fact why he would turn down a shot at the world title caught off guard.
Well, if you put it on your social media, you've already put it out on the social media.
You need to repeat it on IFL TV.
You can repeat it because some people might not know what the hell you're talking about.
I just think that it's very, very suspicious. I'll just leave it at that. I think it's very suspicious that you're turning down that opportunity when he posts videos of him training all the time. So 7 weeks to prepare. You might never get the opportunity again, and you're securing your family's future forever. Come on. Why is he turning down? I find it crazy, but it is what it is.
Are you suggesting foul play?
I'm not suggesting foul play. I'm just think it's suspicious. Suspicious.
You're entitled to your opinion.
You think it as well, KUGAN. You just won't say it.
I didn't say that at all. I'm interviewing you. You're not asking me the question.
But it's your opinion as well. It is. It is. You know it is. It's just. I'm just saying it's suspicious. Why is a 50-year-old man turning down $7 million to fight for 3 world titles? You tell me. It's crazy.
Well,
$7 million.
fight you for £7.
No problem. I'd win.
Okay, well, listen. So the shortlist for that opponent search is getting shorter by the day.
It's shorter and shorter.
Which is the idea of it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's getting shorter and shorter. It looks like it's going to be Andy Ruiz, who he's tailor-made for Joshua. Yeah, he's got really fast hands. Yeah, for 2 rounds. Joshua's levels and levels above Andy Ruiz. But whoever it is now, Joshua's going to get criticised. But I think it's unfair criticism because Joshua's literally saying, I'll fight anybody. Although I know we put Joe forward, and I'm not saying Joshua don't want to fight Joe, but Joshua knows Joe will be a hard night. I know fans will say, oh, Joe's slow and he's like that, but Joe's a hard night. He's a much harder night than Andy Ruiz.
For you to be putting Joe into the kind of that Joshua mix, you must be 100% convinced that Joe Joyce would beat Anthony Joshua.
I won't put him in a fight that I didn't think he can win. But Joe's competitive nature, I'm saying, if we're not in boxing to fight, like I consider Tyson Fury the best heavyweight in the world. That's my opinion. Yeah, some people might disagree with me, but I believe he is categorically the best heavyweight in the world. And he's a friend of mine. But I'm saying if Joe's in boxing and he says, "Oh, I don't want to fight Tyson Fury," well, you're not in boxing for the right reason. That's the best heavyweight in the world. You've got to aim high. You've got to aim high. And that is Joe's aspirations, to fight the best in the world, which is Tyson Fury. Then you've got Wilder and Joshua, or Joshua Wilder. But if you're not in boxing to fight those 3 men, you're in boxing for the wrong reasons.
You're a nightmare to interview because you don't stand still. You're going to see this interview.
Name being shouted. That's all. Sorry, KUGAN. My bad.
Who's calling your name?
I don't know. I heard it from over that direction.
Maybe they're slagging you off, Sam.
Quite possibly.
All right, chill out. We saw you put some comments about Abel Sanchez's split today with, not today, happened I think yesterday, with Gennady Golovkin. Some strong words from Sanchez regarding the reasons why they split.
It's sad more than anything, isn't it? Because if I've got to know Abel, he still coaches Guido Vianello, my other heavyweight there, and the way he speaks of Golovkin, like, believe me, it's like father and son. I know that's like the old cliche, old father and son relationship, but it really is the closest. I'm sure Golovkin owns shares in the gym. It's that close. It really is. Loeffler and Claire. So they're all very, very a tight-knit team. So for something like that to happen, it's sad. There's no other word for it. It's just very, very sad. It's the same like with the Barry McGuigan situation with Carl Frampton. It's very, very. It's just It's sad for boxing. These kind of close relationships ending due to, like, I don't know, money, and it's sad for boxing. Nobody wins out of that. It's just sad.
Well, it's certainly a surprising situation, regardless. Sam, have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
How was this interview today, KUGAN? All right.
Do you want me to rate it out of 10?
Go on.
6.5.
6.5. What do I need to do to make it a 7?
Well, your last interview with me, which was at the Stavern fight. Hold on, Stavern fight. That was a solid, like, 7.9.
Was it 7.9? I don't know. I was being threatened that day, so I felt a bit more. I had to get a bit more out. Today I feel kind of chilled. No one's kind of threatened to kill me yet. So.
All right. Well, that's always a good thing. Sam, thank you very much for talking to Eiffel TV, and at some point over the next sort of few weeks, we'll see if we can get that 6.5 back up.
Absolutely. Come and see us at the gym.
That's a good idea, actually.
Come see us next week.
Thank you very much, Sam Jones.